guys, happy Wednesday. I hope you have a lovely day. I'm not going to lie, this one may leave a little bit of a sting. My suggestion with this is to listen to the reading, really digest it, and really think about it before you act on it. Don't walk away from this reading saying, yep, that's me, I know what I need to do now, and boom, you jump on something. You want to think about it first, okay, because this is going to resolve things, yes, but it's also going to push you outside of your comfort zone. And when we're outside of our comfort zone, we're also in uncharted territory, right? So we're not quite sure the layout of the land. So mainly try it as a experiment. Okay, in some of the areas of life, I think we can do that. In other areas, it's a definite, you need to do this. But again, it's something you're going to need a plan for, or at least some kind of forethought on. Okay, we come in with the Star card. We've got the Moon card, the Seven of Wands, and the Ten of Wands. Okay, the combination speaks of really just trying something. If there's an area of your life that you know is basically on life support, right? Let's start with relationships first, okay? If there's a relationship that is just existing, right? You've got the Seven of Wands, which says, you know, I'm going to just stay my course. I'm going to be set in my ways. I'm going to be, come hell or high water, I'm not budging. This is how life's going to be, period, right? You're steamrolling over people. You're really just not applying much. The sevens need, there's spiritual lessons in there, meaning you've got to have some kind of spiritual grounding in whatever you're pushing through. Sevens are our desires, our passions, our, you know, the things that move our soul, okay? But if it's not divinely connected, if you're not working with your higher power, you end up with the Five of Coins, right? Like you can financially push through something, but you end up with the Five of Coins where, you know, you're spiritually bankrupt now and it all falls apart. You've got to have balance there, because when we come in with the Ten of Wands, it tells me something is going too far, right? In a relationship arena, this would be a relationship that, say you're married, right? And there's just things in here. One person is one way. You're just existing. There's no real, spiritual connection. It's just you know, we're going through the motions. You know, we've been married forever. We're going to stay married forever. And it really doesn't, it's on life support, but it's doable, right? You're going to want to look at something in here, because if the intimacy part isn't addressed in this, meaning you're connecting at a soul level, this will lead to divorce. This is the delicate part of this kind of lineup, right? So I'm saying this is why I think it's a reading you can't just jump on and say, you know what? We need to change this, and this is how it's going to go, because you're jumping from one extreme to the other. It's something that needs attention, right? Try different things, because this is more of an experiment. That's why I'm saying bring a lightheartedness to it. I think when we get this kind of lineup here, it's out of trying to push through. It's out of fear. It's out of trying, you know, it's when a bunch of negative emotions hold you hostage, right? This is when we end up with the Eight of Swords. Where we think we're, you know, someone's hurt our feelings for 100 years, but yet we stay in it, and now we can't get our bearings back. We've lost our feet, we've lost our footing, we've lost our self-respect, we don't think we matter anymore, right? So that's kind of what can happen in the relationship arena here. You want to do something about it. If it's something in the job arena, if this is something that, again, you're sticking to because it pays the bills, the 10 is going to come and it's going to keep loading more and more crap on you, right? To the point where it really starts to affect your health, okay? So you want to look at that. The key here is if you do something that you enjoy, the money will come. What holds you in a crap job, what holds any of us in a job we hate, is that we know, it's more the devil we know than the devil we don't know. It may be crappy, but we know how to financially budget it so it pays the bills, right? That with the 10 is going to impact you on a health level, is what this lineup says. If it's something that, again, you're just, the 7 of Wands is great if you're pushing for something and seeing results. If you're standing your ground and you're being, you know, like I say, come hell or high water, I'm not budging. If you're doing that, you're kind of deadlocking yourself and you're totally cut off from any kind of divine guidance, right? That's when you've got to switch the pushing through at all costs to, hey, maybe if this isn't working, this is the, you know, divine's way of saying, you know, when we hit a roadblock, it's divine protection. It's telling you the road is out. We can't go this way. I know you guys are not going to like this reading. You know, there's areas in my life too that I've got to really look at this. That's why I'm like, oh crap, I know how this is going to go. I'm a human too. You know, but it's times where, you know, we've got a planet shift right now, and we've got to, it's like, you know, that, what is that show with all the people when they come up there and they do their skits and they get, you know, they get voted on, right? It's kind of like, that's what I feel like. The panel is made up of huge ass planets that are going to put some major things in play. If you're not doing something by the book, right? If you're not legitimizing things, and if things are out of back and there's loose strings and this and that, it's going to get flagged. Like, you know, you need a work permit for this, and if you don't have it, you're going to have to stop, right? So you're going to get stopped here in ways that you're ahead of it enough now where you can take care of it. You know, when the Tower card comes in here and, you know, some other heavy hitters come in, we've got the Star card now. It crowns your reading. The Star card is huge. It's, you know, it's being led though by your true north. It's a card of hope and faith and destiny, right? But you've got to drive that boat too. You've got to be in this equation. And the Moon card is just saying, you know, some things, it's fear. The Moon card can be fear. This lineup is Aquarius, Pisces. It's just saying, if it's not working, we need to look at it. We need to figure out a way, because you can't just stand on top of the mountain anymore and just say, you know what, I'm going to stand here until the waters recede and then I'll get down. You've got to find a way to, you know, to get the show on the road here. And unfortunately with the 7, it's saying you're disconnected here. So it's one thing if you're pushing forward in a career or a job, right, where it's just a lot of work and you're getting where you're going, you're trying to launch something, you're doing something, whatever it is. If you're seeing progress, if it's a lot of work but you're seeing progress, that's fine. Keep going. That'll show you. But if you're not, the Star card and the Moon card are saying you need to course correct here. And some aspects of this lineup, some areas in life will take a more drastic hit than others, right? Find, if there's something that you wanted to do now, if you wanted to do anything, try it, start it, get it out of the gate at least, okay? That's where you're really going to see, like, wow, I really didn't have to try this hard. A couple of years ago, I was busting my butt and it was getting nowhere. Now it seems like it's easy. It can be timing. It can be a lot of things behind the scenes, but the main takeaway from here is if something's not working, if something's broken, you've got to either fix it or get rid of it. One of the two. But with the 10 on the outbound, it's just saying the cards we're missing between the 7 and the 10 is that 9 of Wands, right? That I've been beat to crap, but I'm seeing movement, so I'm going to stand my ground. That 9 of Wands also comes in sometimes and reminds you that there's a difference, and I think we had it yesterday, between knowing when to walk away, knowing when you're quitting, and knowing when to do things to make life not harder, right? Sometimes we just need to accept the fact that this just is not going to work, period. And other times we need to course correct, you know, but those are the cards that come in between here. We're also missing in between this 7 and the 10, we need the 8 of Wands, right? That is good energy. It's good creative energy if it's put in a good way. If it's not directed anywhere and it's just wild energy, it's running from this, it's running from this, it's running to this and this and this, and it's scattered energy. It's wild scattered energy, which isn't going to get you anywhere. You know, so you want to put things in order and make sure that they're moving, right? If you've been working on something and you haven't seen any result in a bit, take a look at it and see if it's time to let it go, right? Or if it's time to try something else, or you know, there's a lot of different options here. These are just apply what applies to you and leave the rest. You know, if your relationship and your marriage is fine, wonderful. Focus on, you know, maybe this won't even apply to you, but there's areas here that say, this is a great lineup though too, to say, take the experiment, try it now before, you know, it becomes a week or two down the line and it's out of our control. You know, these are the kind of things there. Fear holds us in these spots. Fear, laziness, you know, it's also how you manage resources, right? It's how do I manage, you know, I may be making good money, but how am I managing it, right? If you're not managing it in a way that it's getting you somewhere where the 10 is more putting more on you, right? You want to look at that too. Net, your takeaway is my life moving? Is it moving, and is it moving in a way that's gaining me a result that is healthy and happy and balanced? Perfect. If it's not, just look at where those wrinkles are and think about how to handle that. Okay, this I would really urge you to not jump, guys. I would urge you to really just take some time and think about this before you act on it, especially if don't go quitting your job and don't go divorcing your partner and don't go, you need to think about, because this is a long time. This is not something that just came along. This is something that you've been doing this way for a bit, and it just needs some elbow grease in here. Okay, so there you go. I hope that I helped you in some way. I realize it wasn't lovely, but some readings aren't lovely. Some things in life aren't just, you know, lovely. They're things that need our attention, and unfortunately this is one of them. Okay, so there you go. If you need a private reading, please reach out to me. I'll be more than happy to help you with anything. Okay, have a great day.